Class 9 Chemistry Chapter 4. Good morning, students. So students, till now we have seen all the subatomic particles, their discovery, who were their discoverers, and what are the charges carried by them, what is the mass they possess. Now here, students, you can see it is a comparison of Dalton's atomic theory with the modern atomic theory. So there were few drawbacks in the Dalton's atomic theory, so that comparison has been made over here. So that Dalton's atomic theory, all the points we have seen and drawbacks we have seen from the Dalton's atomic theory. Now let us focus over the modern atomic theory. So first point, atoms are divisible into subatomic particles like protons, electrons and neutrons. But at the time of Dalton, we were not aware of existence of such subatomic particles like protons, electrons and neutrons. Then atoms can be created and destroyed by nuclear fusion and fission. So this we can see in one of the reaction. In this reaction where I told you that this beryllium alpha particles, so alpha particle, bombardment of alpha particles over the beryllium atom broke into carbon, means a new species has been formed. So it means, and I also told you where the nuclei are changing, means the atom of one element changes into atom of another element. It means the reaction should be a nuclear one. Okay. So once again, this second point, atoms can be created and destroyed by nuclear fusion and fission. These are new terms to you people, fusion and fission. Fusion means joining, where two small nuclei, they come together and join and make a bigger nuclei. And fission means breaking down, where a bigger element or bigger nuclei breaks down into the smaller nuclei. Okay, so all these things you will learn in your physics also. Then the atoms of an element may not be alike in all respects as is seen in the case of isotopes. I hope you know the meaning of isotopes. Isotopes mean where the atomic number it is same but atomic masses they are different. For example, let me write over here hydrogen 1 means hydrogen is having atomic mass 1 and hydrogen is having atomic mass atomic number 1. Another hydrogen atom is there which is represented like this. So it means what? Here in this case the hydrogen atom it is having atomic mass of 2 and atomic number 1. One more hydrogen is there that is represented as H31. Here this atoms hydrogen, all three are hydrogen atoms, but their atomic masses in this case it is same and atomic numbers are same and atomic masses are different. So I will say that all these three are isotopes of each other. Okay. So once again, the atoms of an element may not be alike. The atoms of an element may not be alike in all respect as is seen in the case of isotopes. So here, although you can say that it is the hydrogen, it is hydrogen, it is hydrogen, but their atomic masses are different. So in that sense, they are not alike. Then in the formation of organic compounds, the number can be very big, such as thousands. So all these things you will learn in organic chemistry part in class 10 also. So let me give you one idea, like proteins, carbohydrates. Okay, so they are very big molecules. Fats, they are very big molecules, and since they are found in the organism, that's why this it has been written as organic compound. Now see atom, its structure. So we know atoms, the subatomic particles, it has been written over the electron, proton, neutron, their symbols, how we are going to represent them, what is the charge charge carried by them, what is their atomic mass unit, and in grams the mass is also given over there. Okay, so you can see that proton and neutron, they are having somewhat same mass, 1.6 10 raised to power minus 24 10 raised to power minus 24, and electron, how small it is in comparison to the mass of the protons and neutrons, 10 raised to the power of minus 28. Now we know about the orbits also, the electrons which revolve they are revolving out in certain paths around the nucleus, and such paths are called orbits, or energy levels they are also called. You can see in the figure. Then the things present in the nucleus are simply called nucleons. So what are the nucleons we are having? Of course, protons and neutrons are the nucleons. Now students, you know, every element, it is having a particular set of number of electrons, protons and neutrons. Okay, so let us see what is the atomic number. So students, atomic number it is equal to the number of electrons in the neutral atom of an element. So this is the formula for atomic number. It is the number of protons you can write, or it is equal to number of electrons in an neutral atom. Because why we are using the term neutral atom? Because in neutral atom, protons and the number of neutrons and the number of protons and electrons, they are same. Okay, so atomic number, it is equivalent to number of protons. It is also equivalent to number of electrons, but you need to write here along with number of electrons, you need to write in a neutral atom. Then we have mass number. Mass number means it is also called as atomic mass. Okay, it is also called as atomic mass, means mass of an atom. So mass number means mass of an atom. So mass number of an element is the total number of protons and neutrons present in its nucleus. So I told you the mass of an atom is equal to, you see, what are the subatomic particles inside an atom? They are proton, neutrons and electrons. So their mass is equal to mass of the atom, because 3 species are present in the atom. But I told you that electronic mass we generally don't count. So what are we left with? We are left with the protons and neutrons. So once again, the mass number of an element is the total number of the protons and neutrons present in its nucleus, and obviously they are present in the nucleus. And in the Rutherford's experiment, we saw that whole of the mass is concentrated at a small region called nucleus. So we are not concerned with the orbits, but we are concerned with the nucleus mass, and this mass number is represented by a figure, capital A. Then distribution of electrons in the orbits, Bohr-Bury scheme. So this you have learned in class 8 also. So let us directly jump to this formula. K is the first shell. Let me draw a small nucleus is there. I am drawing the nucleus. Now I am drawing the first shell, which is known as K shell. Now in this K shell, how many electrons can be there? There can be 2 electrons. So simply E I am writing 2 times. Okay. And what is the formula? Why I put 2 over there? So I put the that 2 because of this formula. So what is this? 2n square. So students, n is the number of the shell. So in first shell, K is the first shell. So n equal to 1 in this case. Okay. So 1 square means 1, and 1 multiplied by 2. So 2n square is the number of electrons in that shell. So in first shell, how many electrons can come? 2 electrons. What about this second shell? So in this second shell, what is the value of n here? Second shell, n's value is 2. So 2 into 2 square means 4. 4 into 2, 8. So it means in this second shell, how many electrons we can have? Maximum electrons, 8. So basically they are telling us the maximum possibility of the electrons. So in this case, second shell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons I have drawn. Likewise in the third case, so again the formula will be same. Now this time the n's value is 3. So 3 square means 9 into 2, 18. So in third shell, maximum 18 electrons can come. So likewise in fourth shell, 4 square, n equal to 4 is there. So 4 square, 16 into 2, 32 electrons are possible. Dear students, rest of the points of this topic we will discuss in our next class. Till then, goodbye.